fire engines.
"Flying Scotsman and all my brothers were green," explained Gordon one night in the shed. "It was all very well in its way, but now I prefer my blue. It makes me different, you see, and that's very suitable for an important engine like me."
The engines on the older line used to be blue, remembered Donald. Then they say dark as we are. Dougie and me, we never were, though. We had to be black. Say blue make a nice change. I like my green, too, agreed Henry. I'd hate to be red like James. People would think I was a fire engine. At least people can see me coming, retorted James. I don't disappear into the background like some engines I could mention. If it wasn't for the noise, you'd need a yellow and black front like Mavis. Henry's protests were drowned in the laughter of the other engine, and he went to sleep, wondering how to pay James back.
Just wait. We need Henry. I got the wrong answer.
Henry was still cross the next morning. What can it be? What can be wrong? Wondered the coaches anxiously, as Henry pulled away noisily from the big station. Do come along, Henry snorted impatiently. They had a fast run, but it didn't improve Henry's temper. He bumped the coaches until they reached the end of the line, and again when he backed up to them for the return journey. He simmered while the fireman fastened the coupling. No one noticed the rattle beneath Henry's footplate. He snorted away, and soon the train was running well. Hurry, 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 puffed Henry. Faster and faster they went. At last, Henry began to feel better. Suddenly, he heard a loud crack from below his cab. Look out! Shouted the driver. He applied the brakes while the fireman scrambled toward the footplates. He was just in time. Both men watched in horror as a widening gap opened between Henry and his tender. Henry stopped as soon as he could. The automatic brake halted his tender and the train some distance behind. We must drop Henry's fire, said the driver urgently. It will be dangerous to let him boil dry now that we can't get more water from the tender. The fireman agreed. Sorry, old boy, he said to Henry. Just when we got you going nicely, too. If you hadn't have banged about so much, you wouldn't have broken your tender coupling. While the fireman dealt with the fire, the driver went back to tell the signalman what had happened. When he returned, he found Henry completely hidden in a large cloud of smoke, which billowed from beneath his cab. The fireman emerged choking. Henry's fire set the sleepers alight, he spluttered. You stay here. I'm going to phone the fire brigade. The driver eased Henry clear of the blaze, and then Edward came to take his train to the next station. Henry felt most uncomfortable. Workmen made Henry a temporary coupling. They rejoined him to his tender, and then the driver and fireman lit a new fire and drove him gently home. Edward, who of course had seen everything, told the others. They were careful what they talked about that night. As for Henry, he was touchy on the subject of fires for some time afterward, but James was quick to notice that from then on, Henry stopped making rude remarks about the color of fire engines.